Hey, going on a little walk in December in Florida, nice weather. Palm trees, my subject. They're beautiful to add to your yard. There's not that many in central and northern Florida that they just magically grow unless they're on, you might see some on the coast and stuff. But in this neighborhood, there's a house. Look, he's got 3 little minis and regular trees, regular trees, regular trees. There's some palm trees, but there's magically 3 again. They were planted. Odds are very slim they were just naturally growing here. I mean, you're living in Florida, you want a palm tree. You want to get different varieties and maybe sizes to get that feel that you're in Florida, because some are susceptible to disease, and once the disease hits a tree, you can't replant that palm tree, that brand, and that kind of palm tree in the same spot, because it'll just get sick and die too. You need to check with your expert on the subject, or whoever's planting the tree for you, about diseases for palm trees in your area and how to handle that. A lot of trees are good and healthy, but occasionally one will die, and they'll check it and see if it's safe to plant another one. Or you might want to move over to the side a little further off and plant one that's a little different kind of palm tree, and hope that makes it. And that way, you've still got a palm tree or 2 in your yard. There are a lot of plants that have that look, that feel of being in the South, and some, like these wonderful area here, big tall tree, palm. The bushy ones are kind of neat. Here's some plant pods here. They had another one, but it was had to get cut back. Yeah, they cut that baby back. Big tree. You can see there's a guy. He's got some big tall ones up there. How are you doing? Good. Out for a walk. I love these little palm trees. Worry about them being near any water lines or sewer lines. See, that gives you a Florida look a little bit. They're a little close to the house for me. Our old house in North Carolina had to have trees 10 feet away at least. And then you didn't want the roots anywhere near any sewer lines or water lines, because they would tap into it, and that would be bad later, years later. But usually you've got regular trees. Some people like to have a nice bushy tree near, if they park a car outside. That way it gives it some shade. And it also gets little googies from the birds in the trees all over the car. But just in the right angle. Like this is off the driveway. But if you had a car over here, you could see if the sun was coming in the right direction at the right time of day, bingo. And it shades the house if the sun, I see shade, see little shadows on the house. It gives it some shade. And these are big enough. Look at that big tree. Little shade on that house. It's a big difference in Florida. It's nice having a big tree. You're not worried about it falling and crashing on the house, but it gives you that angle at the right position. This little guy adds some shade. There's a little palm, but there's not a lot of shade on the top of the house. As this one also has some big trees. It depends where it's north, south, east, west. Trees can be important for a yard. You don't want to just, you haven't retired to Arizona. What is that, the second most popular place to go? Arizona and Florida. You get that dry heat. This is like Arizona yard. You get the rocks. Look at YouTube. Look at some of those retirement places. A lot of places have rocks. And you can get rocks in Florida. Some neighborhoods allow you to decorate with rocks and call it a day. And you're like, well, in Arizona it's sort of expected. It's a desert. In Florida, it's I don't want to water my grass and pay all that water bill, right? So retiring or moving to Florida can be a good thing. You check the difference in insurance. Insurance companies, they're pretty expensive here in Florida because storms all the time. Being in Central Florida gets you away from that, a lot of those storms. Anything near Orlando is going to be more expensive because it's Orlando and it's near Disney and Universal, etc., etc. The villages might be a little better, and Ocala would be a little better. Safer areas in Florida are a little north. You start heading to Georgia, it gets cooler, you get some frost. You may want to cross the line right at Georgia just to cheat a little bit. Say, well, I'm not in Florida, I'm in Georgia. I don't know how that would work. There's a good enough town up that way. I haven't really researched it. Anything on the coast is going to get hit with storms. It's nice, you know, if you can afford the insurance, and the housing cost, anything near water is pretty. That's more money. Near a golf course, hey guys, more money. Got a lake in the backyard, a little river, and the rivers can overflow, and you got a flood zone problem. So, hello. Oh, look, we got Spanish moss on this trip. At the golf course. It's nice. And we got water up ahead. And you know the joke about water in Florida. You want to know if there's a gator in it, you just walk up to it and tap it with your hand. And if it's wet, there's a gator in it. That's the joke. I've told it on other videos. So there's the back of that house, 2 strategic palms. Nice, nice. There's a little color change of those guys. A little rustic color. Who says you don't get color change in Florida? There's some kind of color change. It's just normal trees at a golf course. So you don't see palms here. They're strategically located palms. You want to feel like you're in Florida, don't you? I would. We're thinking of going to Ocala. My wife's color scheme is going to be a light blue, light green, possibly, so it can have an ocean feel. I'm like, we're in the center of the state. What? Oh well, that'll be fine. I'm good with anything, right? Right. Happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. That's it. So, if you're thinking of coming to Florida, research your little palm trees, see what you like, check the neighborhood out, and get a little expert. It's good at planning, being familiar with the area, and maybe have some of the little ones for decoration, 1 or 2 big ones, or 3. 3's always, in the art world, 3's always pretty. 3 images as opposed to 2 or 1. 1's just kind of out there. 3's kind of like a thing. I'll see you again. Like and subscribe.